Good morning. We're back with another extremely arbitrary ranking. This time, I'm going to be ranking the Danganronpa 1 and 2 characters based on whether or not they would be homophobes. As per usual, big fucking hater warning. Yeah. I know I'm teasing you guys with the Danganronpa 3 content right here. I promise that it's coming. I'm not through the game yet. It's gonna be a while. I'm sorry. It's gonna come though, once I'm through the game. Let's get this bread. So my categories are gay, not gay but an ally, neutral, kind of uncomfortable, homophobe, and at the bottom I have gay and homophobic. Akane. Akane is not gay but an ally. You know when people say, like, oh, I don't see you any differently, but, like, you know a small part of them, like, if you came out to them, a really tiny piece in the back of their brain, like, views you a little differently. Like, not necessarily in a negative way, but you know that when they say, oh, I don't see you any differently, they kind of do, and that's why they're saying it. Akane literally does not see you differently. Like, she just doesn't have that in her brain. To the point where I don't even know if she would, like, understand why you're telling her. She'd be like, okay, do you want to go for a run? Do you want to get lunch? Like, why are we having this conversation? Owie. She's a lesbian because I said so. Gay. You don't decide you're gay. I decide you're gay. Yeah. I created the category gay and homophobic exclusively for Byakuya. I mean, I'm sure there's others that fall into that category, but if you came out to Byakuya, he would be so rude about it. You would find out he's gay and you're like, alright, what the fuck was that all about? I think Byakuya, in all honesty, would have this complex where he is gay and he doesn't have, like, on some level he has, like, some internalized self-hatred perhaps, but it's not even that. Like, I think he sees himself as, like, a refined, classy gay, and he sees flamboyant gays as, like, trashy. Like, it's an aesthetics thing for him. And, like, it is deep down rooted in some internalized homophobia. They're just classless commoners to him. Celeste. Celeste is also gonna be gay and homophobic. You know, she has, like, manservants or something. Oh, that was her dream. She wanted to live in a castle and have manservants. That's just because it's not like an eye candy thing, like having a hot pool boy. Men are beneath her, and therefore should be her servants. And I don't think if you came out to her, she'd be, like, actually homophobic. I just think she would be judgmental for the sake of it. Like, you could have told her that you enjoy pickles, and she'd be like, you would. Chiaki. Not gay, but an ally. I think Chiaki would be a real friend. I don't know where to put Chihiro. I know Chihiro's identity is, like, a topic of debate in the Danganronpa community. I always refer to Chihiro as neutral. I use they, them for Chihiro because I know in canon Chihiro is, like, just a cross-dresser, but I have a really hard time wrapping my head around the logic that falls with the explanation. Author's note, I don't think I worded that very well. I mean that I struggle with the explanation that Danganronpa gives as to why Chihiro cross-dresses. That explanation and that whole trial bother me a lot because I just don't feel like that's how real human beings behave. I struggle with that as an explanation for why Chihiro wears women's clothing, not the concept of cross-dressing in general. So, yeah. I know it's a pretty sensitive topic in the Dangan community. Like, I don't know, there's a lot going on there, so whatever. I'm gonna put Chihiro into the gay category, because I don't really know what their deal is, and I don't think any of us do either. And Alter Ego is also on this list, and Alter Ego is going to go in not gay, but an ally, because Alter Ego is a computer, and therefore probably would not have a sexuality. Genocide Jack / Jill. Gay. I'm gonna be honest, it's been such a long time since I've interacted with the first game. I'm struggling to remember what their serial killer motivations were. Hold on, I gotta Google something. I knew she was a man killer, but I can't remember why that was. She kills men because she's attracted to them. I'm gonna retcon that. Canon is mine now. Lesbian. Fuyuhiko. Not gay, but an ally. I feel like Fuyuhiko probably grew up with some homophobes around him, and as a kid was like, I should think like this because the grown-ups in my life think like this. But he could never wrap his head around being a hater like that. Gundam. Gundam's going in neutral because I don't think that it would occur to Gundam to view sexuality as an identity. I think for Gundam, it just is. I think he just, like, wouldn't understand what you were trying to convey to him by coming out. Like, he would not grasp the concept. I think Gundam would struggle with the fact that some people really need to think on and ruminate over their sexuality, and some people need to, like, go out to gay bars and, like, see for themselves and, like, really confirm it. I don't think Gundam would understand easily that it can be a process. I think that for Gundam, sexuality just is. Like, you just are attracted to who you are attracted to, and that because it's one way for him, I think he might not, I think he'd be a little autistic about it. Like, for Gundam, you wake up and you are attracted to men or women or both or whatever or neither, and that's just how it is. And because that's how it is for him, I think he would struggle to understand that it can be a process for some other people. So Hajime is gonna go in not gay but an ally, but I think Hajime has vaguely bisexual feelings that he's not suppressing them necessarily, but he's just, every time it comes up, he's like, well, that seems like a thought for another day, and then just never thinks about it. Like, he's not like intentionally avoiding working through those feelings. He's just like, that seems complicated. Let's try again another time. This would be Hajime. Hifumi is gonna go in, I don't know if I want to put him in neutral or kind of uncomfortable. I'm gonna put him in kind of uncomfortable. Hifumi himself, as we know, is like he's like asexual. I think he would be supportive of lesbians because it would be hot, and I think gay men might make him a little uncomfortable, but I don't think he'd ever say that. Hyoko, gay and homophobic. She would definitely be a lesbian and then call you slurs for also being a lesbian, and it's like, what? And you'd be like, Hyoko, why is it okay for you to be a lesbian and not me? And she'd be like, because you're an ugly bitch and I'm not. Ibuki, gay. Actually, I should have made a bisexual category, but I didn't, so Ibuki goes in gay. I feel like Ibuki would almost be doing too much. You'd come out to Ibuki, and she'd be like, oh my god, we need to throw you a coming out party. And you'd be like, Ibuki, I don't need to do all that. Like, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm just telling the people in my life. And she'd be like, we need to collect everyone and go to Pride. And I'd be like, Ibuki, that's not really my scene. It'd be kind of overwhelming for me. Pride is in June, it's hot out. I love the support, but she'd be doing too much. Azuru Kamakura. Azuru would not give a single fuck. You'd be like, Azuru, I'm gay. And he'd be like, boring. I'll go fuck. Azuru is going in neutral because he doesn't care. Like, not for homophobic reasons, but because he's depressed. Shout out to Azuru for being good depression representation. Everything's boring and everything sucks. So true. Junko, gay and homophobic. Actually, I feel like Junko would probably be bisexual. Bisexual and homophobic. She would be like Hyoko, where she'd probably call you slurs. She wouldn't be as mean. She'd just be doing it for the fun of it, and like she'd call you a slur, and you'd be like, but she's doing it like so joyfully that you're like, is she joking? Is she actually like being a homophobe? Then you see her kissing girls and you're like, alright, I don't understand. Soda, I'm sorry. I think he would be a homophobe. He'd be like Hifumi, where he'd be like, lesbians are okay, but gay men are not. If you came out to Soda and you were a male, he would be like, haha, as long as you don't like me. And you'd be like, oh, you're not my type. And he would be like convinced that because you're gay, you'd be attracted to him. And he would like never like take his shirt off or do anything around you. He'd be like, oh, you're gonna creep on me. And you're like, just because I'm gay doesn't mean like I'm creepy or that I'm into you. I'm just gay. Are you attracted to every single woman in the world? And he'd be like, yes. Sorry, Soda. Homophobe. Taka. gay and homophobic, but unlike the others in this category, it's not because he's a dick. I think he has internalized issues. Sorry, Taka. I feel like he has internalized homophobia. Kyoko, not gay, but an ally. I feel like she would just be quietly supportive of you. Leon. Sorry, Leon. I kind of view Leon as an aggressive dickhead. I think he would be a little like Soda, but like to a slightly lesser degree. I feel like Soda would be saying shit all the time. Leon, less. But he still would. He's gonna go in kind of uncomfortable. My iPad is so old it cannot handle the sheer power of Danganronpa. Mihiru is gay. That's a lesbian right there. You know why? Because I said so. Makoto. Oh, that voice crack was disgusting. Makoto. Makoto is not gay, but he is an ally. Mikan is a hard one for me to pin down. I think if I came out to Mikan, she would be a little weird about it, but not weird in a bad way. She would just like start checking in on me a lot and being like, "Are you okay? Did I do something to make you uncomfortable?" And I'd be like, Mikan, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you be making me uncomfortable? I also think she would develop a very weird fascination with it and start asking me a bunch of questions. And I'd be like, Mikan, are you gay? And she'd be like, no, I'm a nurse and I want to learn more. But it would just have this edge of like, she's gathering information and I'm not 100% sure why. I'm going to put not gay, but an ally, but not exactly in a positive way. Her vibes are strange. Mondo. I don't think Mondo would understand. Like, I don't think Mondo has ever heard of gay people. You'd be like, Mondo, I'm gay. And he'd be like, what do you mean? And you'd be like, I'm attracted to men, or I'm attracted to women, or like whatever. And he'd be like, I don't understand. And you'd be like, what don't you understand? He just had never heard of gay people. It did not occur to him ever once in his life that a man could be attracted to another man or whatever. Like, he truly, like, you think he's being, like, weird and homophobic. He literally has just never heard of that shit in his life. Once you explain it to him, I think he mulls it over for, like, a day, and then he's an ally, and then after further character development, I think Mondo is bisexual. So Mondo is gonna go in not gay, but an ally. Because I think once he, like, wraps his head around it in his brain, he's like, alright, man, love you, love, that doesn't affect me. Monokuma. I don't believe the bear has a sexuality or a gender identity. I think Monokuma just is. Like, he would murder a teenager and then he'd be like, respect gender pronouns. I'm gonna put Monokuma in not gay, but an ally. Mukuro Ikusaba. I'm gonna put her in neutral. I feel like she just does not think of those kinds of things. Like, she wouldn't be supportive enough to be an ally, but she doesn't put her energy into being a homophobe. I think she's just truly, she just does not think of things like that. Nagito. Nagito is gay and homophobic, but only to himself. He would be supportive of you coming out as gay to him, but he'd be like, it's not okay that I'm a homosexual. And you'd be like, Nagito, what? And he's like, oh yeah, everybody else can be gay, but not me. I'm bad for being gay. And you'd be like, that makes no sense. He'd be like the opposite of Hiyoko, where only she can be gay. Everybody can be gay but Nagito. Nekomaru. Not gay, but an ally. I think he'd be such an aggressive ally. You'd be like, Nekomaru, I'm gay. And he'd be like, that's right, brother. Love who you love. I'd be like, Jesus. He'd carry me on his shoulders through the gay pride parade. Before anyone says anything, the residue on the inside of that glass is because I home make my own caramel for my iced coffees, and it leaves this weird residue on the inside of the glass. It's not actually like weird and dirty. Peko Pekoyama. I'm gonna put her in neutral because, like Mukuro Ikusaba, she just does not put thought into that kind of thing. Peko does not have thoughts unless it pertains to training or Fuyuhiko. But if Fuyuhiko made her be an ally, then she would be. But I'm gonna put her in neutral because I just don't think she thinks of those kinds of things. She views herself as a vessel for serving Fuyuhiko. So I think she needs to go through character development to become like a real functioning human being without him, to then become an ally. Sakura. I believe my queen is bisexual. I'm gonna put her in gay. Sayaka. Not gay, but an ally. I really have much to say about that. She would just be like, oh, that's nice. Sonia, I feel like, and hear me out, I feel like Sonia would be like accidentally homophobic at first. Not like actually homophobic. Homophobic's the wrong word. I think she'd be more like accidentally and unintentionally ignorant. She would say, like, not a crazy amount, she would say some like offbeat shit like, you're the first gay person I've ever met. We don't have gay people in my country. And you'd be like, Sonia, you definitely do have gay people in your country. They might not be like open and out about it, but they're there. And she'd be like, no gay people. But after further education, she would be a complete ally, like almost too much. So not gay, but an ally for Sonia. Teru, gay, but coming out to him would have negative consequences because Teru, I believe, is passionately bisexual, but coming out to him would be terrible because he immediately would be like, are you coming out to me because you want me? And it would just be disgusting. Teru is gonna go in gay. Coming out to him would be unfortunate. Toko. It is my personal belief that Toko is bisexual or even a lesbian and has like some internalized homophobia about it / some like compulsory heterosexuality that she is wrestling with, and hence Genocide Jack appears and she kills men. I also definitely think she would fetishize gay men. I think she has a lot going on in the sexuality sphere. I'm gonna put her in gay and homophobic. I think she has a deeply complicated relationship with her sexuality and would not be a good person to talk to if you were to come out to her. The imposter. The imposter is going to go in not gay, but an ally. I think the imposter has a very nebulous sexuality and gender identity thing going on. So I don't think you can completely call them gay or something like that, but they are an ally. Hero. Hero is not gay, but he is an ally. You would think that coming out to Hero, he'd be like kind of a dipshit and like wouldn't know what you were talking about. And then he's like surprisingly well educated on the matter. And you'd be like, Hero, why do you know about like gay culture? And you'd be like, my sister's a lesbian, man. Of course I know all about it. You'd be like, alright, sure. So this is my official list. I hope you liked watching this video. If you liked me ranking danganronpa characters based on extremely arbitrary and subjective things, I have 2 other videos like it. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Have a great day.